Hey everybody, what's happening? I'm back with another quick film review for you. And today I'm going to be taking a look at Supergirl, directed by Craig Gillespie, written by Anna Noguera, and the cast stars Millie Alcock as Supergirl, Kara Zor-El. It also stars Matthias Schoenaerts, probably butchering that name, I apologize. Eve Ridley, Jason Momoa, and David Cornsweet. So no spoilers here. I'm not going to talk about anything that didn't happen in the trailers. So if it's in the trailers, I'm going to mention it. If you want to know zero, and I mean zero, then tune out. All right. I won't spoil nothing major, don't you worry. Okay, so after James Gunn's Superman last year flew into theaters and made some decent bank. It had an incredible cast. I was a big fan of the casting of that film. And by the end of that film, we saw Supergirl in a little hungover cameo. And we were then told, hey, there's going to be a Supergirl movie. It's not just going to be a cameo. So great. And here we are. So is the movie good? Is it bad? Well, okay, there's good news and there's bad news here. The good news is that Millie Alcock and Jason Momoa are both great in their roles. Alcock is given some really fun dialogue as Kara Zor-El. She delivers her lines very well. She is, of course, Superman's cousin, and she grew up on this chunk of floating Krypton after the planet blew up, of course. And so she's had a very, very different perception of the universe than Kal-El. She she likes to party. And as for Momoa, well, he was born to play this alien bounty hunter Lobo, the main man. And some people think he kind of resembles a member of Kiss, the band Kiss. I thought, yeah, kind of is. Maybe that was an inspiration. I don't know. But yeah, okay, so the two actors, they're great. But the bad news here is that its other characters are kind of meh, they're really not great, especially the villain, Krem of the Yellow Hills, they call him. He's this murdering psycho with super strength, but he's just not that interesting, I mean, I know it's based on the graphic novel, Woman of Tomorrow, but I wish that they had just gotten a better villain, to fight Kara. I really, really didn't care for this guy. He looks like a weird cross between a Mad Max biker mixed with Pinhead from Hellraiser and like an orc from Lord of the Rings. So he's just like, we get someone better. So I just kept thinking, like, I wish he was fighting someone else. I wish Lobo and her were fighting throughout the whole film, but we needed more Lobo. The film didn't have enough Lobo. Ruthie is a new character here. She's a survivor of Krem's attack. She's out to avenge her father's death, and so she recruits Kara for the job. Crypto is back, as we've seen in the trailers, and he's still really well made. He's a very well constructed CGI pet, but still looks fake, and it's too fake for me to have much sympathy for this dog when he's in danger. If it was a real dog, I'd be like super worried about the animal, but like any kind of animal, as long as it's real, but these CGI animals, just like in Disclosure Day, they look really fake. So I was like, they're not even there. It's a cartoon. It felt like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's how it feels sometimes watching these animals that are made to look realistic, but they're not real. So it's just, yeah, I didn't have much sympathy for Crypto. But he does look great. Yes, it is a good job by the visual effects teams, and the visuals in the whole film is, all the visuals are really great. However, the action is a little bit blurred at times. Supergirl, she moves super fast, of course, but the way she fights and the way some of these fights are shot, it's too fast, and we really do miss some of the details here. So, I mean, this movie is obviously better than the 1984 Supergirl film. So if you have a choice, if you're going to choose between the two, definitely the new one is the way to go. Because that's not saying much. At least Superman, at least Kal-El does make an appearance in the new film to check in on his cousin. But both films, yeah, they both have a lame villain. And that's what really makes a good action adventure fantasy movie is a great villain. I thought Nicholas Holtz made a fantastic Lex Luthor in last year's Superman, but here the antagonists they're kind of boring, honestly. So that was my main beef with the movie. Pretty predictable ending as well. However, I did like the beginning though. The first 15 20 minutes of the picture I really liked. And yeah, I mean, I do wish there was more Lobo, but his presence overall didn't actually feel that necessary. He felt a little shoehorned into the movie too. I felt like it's like I could have made this movie without Lobo, but I think they did it just for fan service. So anyway, Millie Alcock, she carries this film. She's very good, and she's the reason to go. And it is interesting to see Kara portrayed as not that nice and not that great a role model. She's a little bit different, getting drunk and everything on different planets. Still, it is worth watching once, mainly for Supergirl herself. And, if you love DC characters or if you love the Supergirl character, yeah, definitely go check it out. But for everyone else, it's meh. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Worth watching just one time, I'd say, especially if you're a hardcore DC fan. All right, guys, that's it for my review of Supergirl. And until next time, I'll see you at the movies.